Folks, I'm Matt Major. Welcome to Good News York on this Monday morning. We're running a skeleton crew. Me and my man Mike, I'm making him run the board. So you will note that he's not to my left. He's actually in the control desk.
Yeah,
we don't really have a booth, right? We need a control booth.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get there.
Talking to Mike over in the booth. But
Yes,
what's
sir.
going on, buddy?
Man, I don't know where.
You're really discombobulated today.
Thank you for.
You're really fucked up.
Yeah,
it's kind of amusing. I'm not gonna
No,
lie.
it's going to be very amusing because, as you know, at this point, the way my brain works, I am way out of my comfort zone.
Which is funny because this is what you do all day.
I know.
Like, this is your primary job, is sitting in
Sure.
that particular spot running shows for people.
Yeah.
But our show, you're just completely lost.
Yeah, because I have. So it's now. Am I not only not next to you, but I'm controlling the switching. See. I'm controlling the switching. I have all my notes for what we're going to talk about. I've got my buzzer, my sad trombone. Got to have these. And my favorite, your Law and Order, thing that you got.
Oh, I worked on the first try today.
Yeah, no, I think I broke it in. I think it's like one of those things where
Need to loosen it up like shoes.
yeah, like you got to break it in, and then it's like, okay, yeah, it's a good call, like Doc Martens.
That's fair. I can see that.
So I got to tell you, my weekend was, I don't know, how was your weekend first?
It was fine. I spent it programming.
Okay, that sounds boring as shit. What is that?
It's what nerds do when we want to make computers bend to our will.
Oh, well, that sounds way
Yeah.
cooler.
I don't want to get too in depth because I'm actually working on a project that we're going to make a big announcement for, and it's one of those deals where, like, I want to get all the pieces right rather than being one of these assholes who teases something big coming next. You know, Phil Farda loves when people do that. By the way, it's great. But I made a significant, more than expected amount of progress on a really important part of this new project we're going to launch. So that was encouraging, I guess.
That's
it's a
great.
good way to spend a weekend, I guess.
Is this
I was productive, if that helps.
Yeah, is this something that we're in the loop of, or is this like growth mode IT side?
Literally what I gave you when I walked in this morning, buddy.
Oh yeah, that thing that I fucked up within 30 seconds. Yeah, that is exciting, and I'm excited. We also have I want to tease a little bit
Sure.
for our growth mode clients. We're adding some value to being a subscriber and having your podcast with us, and I'm really excited about that. That was
I forgot we haven't even talked about that yet.
No, we have not. If you want to, I mean, you're the boss. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we haven't even really talked to a lot of our clients about it, but I'm glad you brought it up, Mike, because it's something that we've been looking to do for a while, right? And for some quick background, we started this growth mode content company now 8 months ago. And we're in August. I don't know how that happened.
It's amazing.
And we've been kind of laying the tracks, so to speak, for a lot of things that we've had planned since before we launched, right? But it's one of those things, like anything else, you got to build it first. And we've had to build literally our infrastructure here, our software, our systems, our procedures, get them really dialed in, and then begin making content for our clients. And that, again, is something that we had to just sort of start doing, right? So we're bringing them in, we're recording podcasts, we're figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And now we've got enough of that history to really kind of hit the ground running with some strategy. And that's the part that we are adding as kind of a new value add service. And that will be a little bit of scripted social media content for all of our clients' businesses.
Yeah, I love it. So to expand on that, for those of you watching or listening, with our clients, they subscribe once a month. They come in, which might be twice a month now. They get a full episode, right? And it airs in its own organic place. You have your own podcast. People can subscribe like you would do Apple, Spotify, anywhere where there's podcasts. But the real value comes in the social clips that we do have a strategy for, where we have a team that cuts these clips up and puts them out on their social media throughout the month. And what I love about it is it's not like we're just cutting up clips and then putting them out.
Yeah.
We're sitting there going, what works on LinkedIn and Facebook might not work here on TikTok with this particular. There's a lot of thought that we do put into
100%.
it. And now, in addition to that, you have come up with the idea of adding some scripted stuff that we can shoot with them while they're here. Not only shooting their podcast, we can shoot some teasers for their podcast, maybe an intro for their show.
Right. And you've described it really well, Mike. What we've been doing, what we've been talking about, beating this drum heavily, is this organic content, right? And that is just exactly what we're doing now. As much as we're talking about something on deck, Mike and I don't have a script, right? We're just kind of off the cuff talking.
Can't tell we don't have a script.
This is what our clients do. They come in, they have these natural conversations, like the ones that you have with normal people all day long. And that's awesome, and that has a ton of value. But as we're trying to grow social media, what can also have a lot of value specifically there are these things designed to check the right boxes, right? To tickle the friendlies on the algorithm, and really get things going so that people start to get some real traction. And that's what we're going to do. So when we say scripted, it's probably not going to be the type of thing that's like every word like a movie and we do it in 10 takes or those sorts of things. But it's going to be the idea where we have a few things that are trending in that industry and a few things that are video styles and techniques and hooks that are working for people in our clients' industries so that we can kind of use what works and grab some traction on some of those and then bring even more attention to the more organic that doesn't. The organic doesn't necessarily always have that immediate like hook, salacious, whatever. It's the thing that you want to get into once you have a little bit of idea of who folks are, and this will help promote all of that.
100%. And, you said it well now, obviously. And look, when you hear scripted, you think, okay, we're going to pull out this script and, okay, here's where I go here. We're not that intense, like you mentioned. It's more of like a, kind of like a, what's his name there?
Strong outline.
Yeah, well, strong outline or... why am I blanking out on the director that works with Will Ferrell all the time? Those guys.
Don't know.
Yeah. Either way, it's more of like that where there's a script, but you kind of let them. You kind of let it happen as it's recording. It's open to interpretation. But Matt, one thing I will say, and I'll say it so that you don't look like you're a complete egomaniac, is that you're brilliant in many ways in business and in this lane. But what I love is that every day that I come into work, you are strategizing or thinking of some way where we can improve, whether that is technical wise, like with our sound and video and upgrading equipment, whether it's how can we add more value to our clients, or here's our best view. Here's our videos that are performing best. What did we do with those videos that we can do? And you don't do anything where you sell out and you're like, we've got to do this because we need clicks. You're just trying to improve us. And I appreciate that. And I know our clients do too.
Well, yeah, that's the name of the game. And just an entrepreneurship, right? That's if it was simple, everybody would do it, right? There'd be a recipe. Sure. You'd make that recipe and you just let it make money for you. Unfortunately, that's not how business works. And especially when we are in a rapidly up and coming industry that, yes, we are, kind of leading the way on it, but we're certainly not the only ones doing this sort of thing. And if we don't continue to offer value and continue to get better at every step of the way, then, other people are going to eat our lunch, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, that's the part that always freaks me out is, I love what we're doing here and we take it day by day and we're just doing what we're good at. But unfortunately, there is, I don't want to say competition because, it's not like we're trying to beat anybody out, but in any field where you're some sort of entrepreneur, you're going to have natural competition, which is, in my opinion, is a good thing in some ways because it makes you better. But at the same time, we have to stay up on it because if someone takes this idea and does more or does better than we do, like you said, it's eating our lunch and we're missing out. So we do it with the intention to better ourselves and add more for our clients. But we have to be front runners in a lot of things.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, hey, enough about us.
Okay.
I think you got a couple of topics you want to talk about, and I got kind of a fun Monday thing that we haven't quite done here before. But
what do you want to do first? Fun Monday thing? Or?
We'll save that for a minute. Why don't we? I've been talking a lot. What do you got, buddy?
I like when you talk. All right. So what I got is I went to the return of the blue and red. And what that means is I took my kids to...
is this a fucking football thing?
It is a fucking football
God
thing.
damn it.
I know. I'm sorry, dude. But you're going to love the video. So I took my kids. I've wanted to take my kids to Highmark Stadium, where the Buffalo Bills play, to experience their first game. It's never lined up because they're too small, or it's too intense. I don't.
Is that what they're gonna? I guess you're gonna call it the old stadium.
It's funny you ask that because on Bills Radio on WGR they have been posing the question to people when the new stadium is built and next year is the first year when they move over to the new stadium, are you gonna call it the Ralph, because it used to be called Ralph Wilson, Rich Stadium, because it used to be called Rich Stadium for the old folks, or just the old stadium? So the jury's out on that.
So I don't know or care anything about this, but just now that we're talking about it, are they going to tear down the old one when the new one's ready?
So that's another question. I believe they haven't given an official ruling, but yeah, it's going to be, because it is right across the street, and dude, it is fucking massive, massive.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't a matter of it was defective or anything, right? It was a matter of needing more capacity, a more modern spot.
Honestly, it was a matter of just the NFL themselves in general want all stadiums to be upgraded and modern.
Gotcha.
And when if you can find an owner who has the money, which the Paculas do, it's a bigger deal, because for a long time there was so many.
State of New York kicked in $1 billion, but anyway.
Yeah. They for a long time they said that the Bills, once Ralph Wilson dies, they're going to sell the team, they're going to move to Toronto, and we were all terrified. And then the Pagulas came in, who already owned the Sabres, bought the Bills and kept them in Buffalo. Building a stadium, especially a $1 billion stadium like this, solidifies not only that they're going to be here, but for a long time. And now we have a brand new stadium, and dude, it is wild to me.
Was that really something somebody was going to worry about?
Oh, God. It was
people really thought the Buffalo Bills were going to move to Toronto?
Yeah, 100%. And in fact, it was Donald Trump before he ran for president and John Bon Jovi were the two front runners. And if you can believe this, Donald Trump played dirty. And yeah, I know. It's crazy, right? He's such an honest guy. Just totally understands the middle class. But he went around, he hired people to go around and hand out flyers, basically slandering John Bon Jovi, that if he buys the team, he's going to run it in the ground. So John Bon Jovi lost.
John Bon Jovi is a loser.
Yeah.
He hasn't sold a record since 1989. That's the worst Trump impression anyone has ever done, ever.
That was really bad, but I loved it. I loved it. It's my life. It's now or never. That's what John Bon Jovi said. And anyway, so they have the stadium. I assume they're going to knock it down, the old one, because they're going to need parking.
So hold on, back up a second. John Bon Jovi was interested in buying the Bills Stadium, and then he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Has he ever tried to buy anything else?
He is part owner of, I think it's the Arena Football League, the Philadelphia somethings. There's a small football league that he's in.
So he bought the Utica Odd?
Yeah, he essentially bought something like the On Center.
Yeah.
The team.
Okay. I guess I'd never known Bon Jovi as a sports dude, that's all.
No, and not many people do, and that's why they're freaked out. They're like, what is he doing? But he knows he's a good businessman. He knows what he's doing. So he was in the running. Anyway, fast forward, they buy the team, they keep it here. Now they have a stadium, and dude, that is great news. But here's the thing I wanted to ask you, actually. I may have asked you this in the past. So the big thing was, if they're going to build a new stadium,
yeah,
the fans were like, we need a dome because of the weather.
Sure.
Right? Well, half of the fans were like, fuck that.
Right.
I was kind of on that side. I was like, no, the best part about football are the elements and the snow games. And, others were like, why wouldn't you use the advantage of now in the January they can play in warm weather, blah, 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 blah. That went back and forth. But I'm asking you, as an entrepreneur and as a business owner yourself, you're in Buffalo, New York, and you just paid the New York State, and the taxpayers are paying a majority portion of what it costs to build the new stadium. Wouldn't you want something with at least a retractable roof so that you can bring in revenue during the winter and have whatever, concerts, expos, things of that nature?
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Definitely from a business standpoint. on a football standpoint, and again, I'm not even a big football guy, so this might sound funny.
No, I like it.
I see Buffalo synonymous with playing in the snow. I almost feel like that is their one of their advantages. You know, they're
100%.
just like all these Northeast teams. We're happy to play in the snow. That's our home. That's where we're comfortable.
Right.
So you get these Southerners that, you know, and whether or not, I don't know, I guess you'd have to talk to an actual sports expert to tell you whether or not that really makes a difference when it comes to these games. But like I said, when I think of Buffalo Bills football, I think of bundling up and you know, freezing your ass off to watch them lose.
And that is what we do.
Yeah.
And honestly.
But so hold on a second, because I just recently saw something on this new stadium. And it's my understanding that even though it's not a dome, it's got a very unique design where the seats are considerably covered with an overhang, and it's almost designed, it looks like, at an angle to where the wind might help a little bit. So even though there's a giant hole at the very top, you know, the angles kind of provide a little more protection, at least than you used to have. Does that seem right?
You nailed it. And that was kind of their counter.
Is that their compromise? Kind of
exactly.
Both?
That was their compromise to play both, which was, by the way, your endorsement, I think, is better than anybody's because you don't even watch football. And for you to be like, I associate the snow, I mean, you're right. Totally backing it up.
I mean, Buffalo and anything you say. There's snow in Buffalo right now, I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely. I think they're getting 4 inches today.
It's at least.
4 inches is fine. But anyway, so their answer was yes. So I forget the percentage, but for the sake of conversation, we'll say like 60% of, so the overhang goes now over the lower level. So you do get partial coverage. It's
almost like they gave you a moon roof, you know?
Yes. No, that's a great comp. And so now there's also heating on top of the roof so that the snow melts. On the field is heated so that it'll melt there. I mean, so there's a lot of look, you're getting $1 billion stadium.
So
there better be.
I'll be honest though, and again, I haven't put much thought into this at all other than right now. But you said something that just blanked my. You said, you know, why didn't they put a retractable roof?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck didn't they put a retractable roof?
That's why the easy answer is more money, but at this point,
here's the thing. How much fucking money can something cost?
Right.
Like, seriously. You're going to tell me that it really takes that much, and I get it, it's a big steel thing. But we've built big steel things many times in the past, and I know inflation or whatever. But I feel like if you took the amount of money you spent on the Bills Stadium whenever the old one was built and adjusted it for inflation, we'd still be nowhere near the cost of today's stadium. And maybe I'm wrong.
Fair. That's fair.
This is in my head. I could be a fucking idiot, completely wrong. But like $1 billion, nobody understands how much money $1 billion is. If you got $1 every day from now to the beginning of the fucking human history, you wouldn't have $1 billion.
Yeah, people say all the time when people argue online about like the national debt, you know. Or whatever, Doge was saving $1 trillion, but they only saved $1 billion, and people don't realize the space between, you know, billion and trillion.
People
and million
don't understand scale, but still, like, I'm shocked to find out that you could spend above $1 billion, and that doesn't get you a fucking roof like is in my Audi.
Dude,
like,
I know.
This is not a difficult concept.
I agree. And
then you're right, because then you could use it. Because now what do they do? It literally just goes completely unused in the winter months, right?
I mean,
other than football?
Right. I mean, because that was my thing, more than the elements, because I was like, okay, a retractable roof, everybody wins because you leave it open all season for the games. But now you can have, you know,
I'm thinking about the dome here at Syracuse. Yep, it's there for football.
Exactly.
Also championship basketball and events and movies and massive concerts and all these things in the time of year where it would otherwise be covered in snow.
And that's my only question. I have no complaints. I love that there's no roof. I think it's great, but I'm just looking at it from a business standpoint.
From a football standpoint, if they had a retractable roof, would other teams be able to demand it was closed during games?
No, I believe that's just up to the team.
I didn't know if maybe that was the thing where, like, if we wouldn't get that advantage because they would force us to close the roof all the time, sort of thing.
No, I think I can't confirm that this is how
Yeah.
it goes, but I'm fairly 100% sure it's up to the team and the ownership.
Okay.
You don't just waltz in and go, "We'd like that closed, please."
Well, I just didn't know. If you claim that's like an unfair advantage,
Right.
Yeah,
I always thought the same thing in like baseball. How like some stadiums, like right field in Yankee Stadium is, I forget the measurement, but
Yeah.
I mean it's a short right field. Where in other parks, a home run,
more room.
And a home run in Yankee Stadium would be a pop out. And I always wondered. I'm not saying I like or dislike, but I just always thought, why wouldn't they make it the same? I love that every park is different, but at the same time, from a advantage standpoint, I just thought maybe it should.
So we're effectively spending billions of dollars on one sport.
Yeah. But anyway, all of that to say,
Mike's like, I'm okay with that because I love that sport.
yes, I took my kids to the Return of the Blue and Red, and what that is so.
Took us a long way to get back.
I know. All season long, or not all season long. In the beginning of end of July, beginning of August, training camp starts, and that is where the teams finally come together. They start training. Most every team doesn't train for training camp at the stadium or in their city. They go somewhere.
Yeah, I remember when I lived in Tampa, there was multiple teams. It was real common to go see them practice down there.
100%. And that was for different reasons. But the biggest reason is they want to just be able to get these players away from home and and being together, and they stay in dorms and you build chemistry, right? But the Bills started about 5 years ago where they pick in the middle, it's like 2 weeks for training camp. And at the end of the first week, they bring everybody back to the stadium, and they do a live practice where you can get free tickets, and it's first come, first serve, and you watch them practice, and then they do a little scrimmage. But the best part is you're allowed to bring in stuff for autographs. The players come to the side. Josh Allen plays catch with the kids. They sign footballs.
Weren't there like 30,000 people there or something?
That's about right. Actually, they set a record for 40,000 this year. So the stadium holds like 71 for practice, dude. That's how insane Bills Mafia is. So I wanted to bring my kids to their first game, but I thought, man, it's a little intense.
The team was good.
What are you talking about? I'll kill you. So I decided I want to bring my kids. I want them, now they're finally at that age, but more importantly, I want to take them to their first game. But man, a game is pretty intense. I'll take them to a preseason game.
There you go.
So coming up this Saturday, I got us tickets to a preseason game, which is fairly cheap. It's 6 rows up. Great. But then when the Return of the Blue and Red popped up in my email, I went, ooh, this might be a good way for me to take the kids. They can, they go to the stadium because they're all nervous, break them in, and then when we go to the game next week, they'll be like, oh, this is great. This is cake. So we went, dude, and I have a video. What people are asking me, like, so I still have to post all of the pictures and
So you went out to Buffalo this past weekend.
I took my kids, just me and my 2 kids.
And you're going again
next
weekend.
I'm going again next weekend. My wife's coming next weekend.
Okay.
But so everyone's like, how did it go? I'm like, I have a million videos and pictures, but I feel like this video, this 9-second clip, will sum up exactly how the day went.
Josh Allen really gets you like that, doesn't he?
Yes, 100%. That's the video. That is the video. I could not believe we were that close, dude, because it's first come, first serve. You don't pay for tickets, right?
So you did.
So as soon as the gate opened, we darted down and we got second row, like 30-yard line. And I was that close to Allen, and my God,
wow,
it was amazing. Anyway, so that was the majority of my weekend.
Did we really just go through that whole setup to see that 3 seconds?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was more about talking about, the weekend
just
in general.
fucking with you.
But it was great. And I love the Bills. I'm excited. And I'll be going to the preseason game next week as well. I wanted to talk about this one story, dude, because this fucking blows my mind. Did you hear about High Noon recalling the vodka seltzers?
Yeah.
The seltzers. What?
This story is wild.
Dude. As somebody who quit drinking, October 1st, 2020 was my last drink. So I am, at this point, about 5 years sober almost. If I broke my goddamn sobriety over a Celsius unintentionally, I'd be a millionaire because I would sue their ass.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts as a business? Like, how do you fuck this up?
Oh, this is bad.
This is real bad.
So for those who don't know, High Noon, which makes a canned vodka drink, and as you know, all these beverage companies, they're all the same thing. They all crank out a million different drinks. The same facility makes the Celsius energy drink, right?
Correct.
Which is not alcoholic.
No, it's an energy drink. It's actually I love it.
Same size can.
Same shape.
Same everything as, canned drinks are. At the factory, somebody put the High Noons in the Celsius cans. Or I guess you could say maybe they labeled the High Noon with the Celsius label. Whichever way you want to do it.
However,
they put the booze in the can that said no booze. And to me, it's just like finding a golden ticket.
I mean, yeah.
Right? And here's the thing. They didn't just do this and then do a run of them, and then they get done, and the guy went, oh, shit, guys. No. These came off the assembly line and were sent all across the country.
Yes.
They were distributed from usually the shit's regional, right? Like, oh, this happened at this one facility in Texas, and it's the cases made it to 2 states. No, literally across the country. And again, if you drink a Celsius and get hammered, to me that's like a golden ticket.
If
I now own the High Noon company.
5 years ago, I would have been like you. I would have said, fuck yeah, it's the golden ticket, baby. But as someone who quit drinking, I realize now, like, holy shit.
Well, here's the thing. That, of course, I'm not in that boat, so that thought wasn't the first one that crossed my mind.
You'll never give up wine
slushies.
You'll never give them up.
As I looked at the comments, that was what everybody said, and I was like, I said, I didn't even think about that, but holy fuck,
Yeah, man. I mean,
can I ask you this? And I don't, again, we're talking about a lot of things I don't know anything about, so this is a true podcast.
Women.
Having stopped alcohol, if you were to accidentally consume it, is that the same as you kind of falling off the wagon and you've decided to have a drink?
Look.
Like if you were to just found yourself intoxicated, would that kick it off and go, oh, shit, I'm going to have 10 more? Or would you go, I think there's something wrong with me?
I have to be very careful because everybody is different.
Sure.
Who has had an alcohol problem or has an alcohol problem or is an alcoholic.
And how they got out of it.
Yeah, so I cannot speak for everybody else.
Sure.
I know some people who, if they had one sip, forget it. Now they're going to rip into all 12.
Just break the seal.
I don't think that's me. I think it would hit me and I would immediately feel it and remember everything that comes along with it and love it. But I'd like to believe that I have that little switch to go, whoa, put that shit down. You don't want to go down this road again.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is you don't want to put yourself in that position to even wonder about it. And they did that. I mean, this is a big fuck up.
Now, here's also the thing. I've drank High Noons. I've not drank Celsius, and I think this was a particular flavor or whatever, Celsius too. Right?
I have it here.
How quickly might somebody notice?
Oh, you would notice first sip.
Yeah.
You would notice first sip.
With that in mind, the reality is it's going to be kind of hard for people to really, and I feel like when the lawsuits inevitably come, that'll be the first defense of any lawyer who goes, well, you clearly knew this wasn't the drink you purchased.
Yeah. Yes. Someone wrote.
You proceeded to drink 10 of them.
That's true. That's actually a good point. Like, because I heard DWI lawyers are like foaming at the mouth.
Sure.
They're like, now we can use this as a defense. But you make a good point, which is, okay, you took a sip, you realized it was, it was alcohol. You didn't have to keep drinking. But then again, like I said, there are some people who are that severe. If they have one sip, they can't stop. So I mean,
I also want to take that with a grain of salt, like I said, because I've never had that flavor of Celsius, and I know it's like a light, one of those like borderline water drinks, right? Isn't that the idea? It's not like a soda which is the same. High Noon is the same type of deal.
It is.
So I don't know.
I don't.
If you've never had one of those Celsiuses, and wouldn't know it to compare, I could see that could be especially if you're a kid who then buys the fucking thing from the convenience store.
That's a great point too.
You know?
I mean, see, that's what I mean. And those kind of drinks too. It is.
What an awesome way home.
Yeah.
Well, you get out of school, you stop at Gill's and you grab a drink out of the cooler, and you're on the way about 3 blocks down the road going, I never felt so good.
Yeah.
This is the best day ever.
I don't give a shit about school.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. It's but those drinks too. It's not like when you pour alcohol into like you can bury that alcohol taste fairly well. So you're right. Some people might drink it and not know.
I think you might have. I don't know if you've ever had a High Noon. I feel like you might have quit before they came to style.
I had one right before I quit. I tried one and it was god awful in my opinion.
So it depends on which flavor you get, but they are again one of those things that's not very strong flavored no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's almost even if you're not a heavy, it's something you can just pour down because it's not strong of anything. You
know what's crazy though is it's not as big of a story as it would have been 10 or 15 years ago because people are not drinking like they used to, which is wild to me. I mean, it's great.
We've talked about this before. Like, it's good in general. At the same time, it makes me worry about society a bit.
Yeah, for sure. It's great health wise and that, but as a society and as for the bar industry, the restaurant industry, it's I think it's just the pandemic kind of made everyone realize, wow, I'm a fat fucking alcoholic and I need to quit. And I think that was a big part of it.
Might have been,
but anyway. What else?
Do you think? Let me ask you this. So see, we're getting on random topics.
Let's do it.
In the past decade, maybe a little bit more, the government really, especially in New York, I can't speak to other states, but I think similar in other states, the government really got excited about the idea of craft breweries. And they put together all kinds of money. And we saw all kinds of these places pop up all over the place, most of which have not survived.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to wonder, like, did the government embracing alcohol make it so cool that it's not fun anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's funny because growing up,
it was always this bad, and now it's like we can't wait to celebrate the opening of this new bar.
Yeah.
Except we don't call it a bar anymore. It's a craft brewery.
And you can bring a Frisbee and your dog.
Newsflash, it's a fucking bar.
Yeah.
They literally make the shit right there.
Some breweries, it's been in the news lately, some breweries are now banning children, and that's a big controversy.
Not enough.
So you agree with it?
I also strongly believe that has killed the bar industry, or at least the craft. So here's what we did, right? We replaced regular hole-in-the-wall bars with upscale craft breweries where a single beer cost as much as a 12-pack used to cost. And then we said, hey, by the way, bring your fucking little kids here. So people did. And now legitimate alcoholics, which I'm sorry, were the bread and butter of the neighborhood bar, won't step foot in that place. No. Because the cost of 2 drinks is as much as they spent drinking for a whole week.
I bartended
back in the day
for over 10 years. They want to go, they want to put some blues on the jukebox, shoot some whiskey, maybe play pool, and not have to. They're there to get away from kids. And loud noises.
You ever see some of those guys? You remember back in the day in some of the Valley bars, maybe like Pete's or Crossways. There was always a couple of dudes that were sitting there at the bar, staring at their beer, can of beer, cheapest one they had at the bar, $1.50 cans, whatever the fuck. If you were to say hello, they would look at you like they wanted to rip your fucking head off. All they wanted to do, even though they wanted to do it in public, was sit there and be left alone and just drink until closing time.
You could not be more correct, my friend. I worked at the greatest dive bar in the world. It is still there, and I will stand by this. It is called the Creeker, formerly the Fall Creek House. It is a neighborhood bar in Ithaca, in the middle of a neighborhood. It is some of the craziest, most amazing nights of my life were spent there. 5 years I bartended there, but I also frequented it there. You walk in, it's a place that you'd be like, this is shady as fuck, but it's not. And here's what was great about it. on any given day, you could walk in and there would be Cornell grad students sitting next to old veterans who are alcoholics and their livers hanging out of their belly button.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting there and all of a sudden someone like pulls in on a bike and skids out and hits the wall. Like there are no rules there other than just don't be rude to the bartenders and the owner. I mean, it was just amazing. And that is exactly what it would be. I remember when I first started working there, I'd come in there with my spiked hair, and there'd be old guys sitting there putting salt in their beer, and they'd look at me like, who's this fucking freak?
Yeah.
You know, and I'd win them over eventually. Not all, but most. And I miss that.
Yeah.
We need it.
Yeah.
We need it.
Well, now those guys who are buying $1.50 cans have to spend $14.95 for a sip of craft beer.
Yeah. Yeah. And all IPAs.
And then they're like, hey, how come nobody drinks anymore?
Yeah.
Can't imagine why.
Yeah. And like, did you ever notice?
Also, you can get a DWI if you look at the 12-pack from 3 hours away at Wegmans. But
you know what else? I used to talk about this in one of my stand-up bits.
I need to breathalyze you.
Which was like the names of beers now are fucking ridiculous. Like I did a stand-up show at a brewery, and a craft brewery.
I was there.
Yeah, that was one of them I did. Yes, you were there at one of them. But this is a different one. And the name of the beer was, there were 1,000 tiny Michael Jacksons, which, okay, do you know what Michael Jackson did? You really want to drink that? And then, but they would always have these names like, can I get a pint of the, let me get a pint of the stagnant piss, please. You know what I mean? Like the names are just way too, like whatever happened to just, you know, hazy IPA or
Listen, man, if you're going to name shit weird, be a pothead.
Oh.
Strains of weed are made for bizarre names. If you're going to drink beer, you just need to drink beer.
Yeah. Isn't it funny, too, how when we grew up, it was like, if you got caught drinking underage, it was, boys will be boys. But if you got caught with one marijuana cigarette, a joint, you need to stop hanging out with your friends. You need to go to drug counseling. You're going to be a loser. And we found out now, fast forward 2025, it is the exact opposite.
Mistake 1,374 caused by boomers.
You know it, and we know it.
You can basically say, hey, remember when our boomer parents made us do X? And there's everything.
Don't just go. Remember turning on the interior light in a car was like, what are you doing? Turn it off. We're going to die.
We're going to get arrested.
Yeah, we're going to get arrested. Don't sit too close to the television. You'll go blind.
Yep.
I didn't go blind. I went blind from doing something. Never mind.
Something else.
All right. Anyway, real quick. Coming up this week, I wanted to tell you, we have one guest coming on Wednesday. Chad.
45 minutes in, and you're going to do the deep tease now?
Yeah. He's coming in. He did an amazing thing. He owns an HVAC company, and he really took care of a community center. I can't wait for that. And also, possibly we got Vinny P coming in, who is the guy.
Vinny P.
Remember the guy from the Metallica?
Nope.
Let me show you.
Yeah.
Let me show you. Well, here's Chad. That's the HVAC guy.
My man.
Yeah, he's coming in Wednesday.
Good buddy of mine.
He's from Syracuse. He did an amazing thing for that woman in the community center.
That.
We're going to talk about that. But we're also going to, where did it go? There it is. Remember this?
Oh, yeah. The Metallica kid.
Dude, so the photographer that posted this looking for the kid, if you didn't hear or see the show, this kid basically got a picture with Metallica because he was
the gentleman who made this original post is the actual original photographer? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. The guy that made the post looking for that kid is the original.
Vincent Pugliese here on the
That's
Facebook?
Him. So long story short, Metallica was at a hockey game, and this photographer was there taking pictures for the hockey game, and he saw Metallica.
Better yet, just go watch the clip. We already talked about it.
Okay, fine.
We follow up on this show.
Okay, watch the clip. But anyway, my point is the fucking guy, the photographer, saw our clip and contacted me through LinkedIn and said, dude, thank you so much. And I said, listen, why don't you come on the show? And he said, I'd love to. So we're going to have him on this week as well.
I love when Mike's going and I just throw a wrench in it and he gets all extra flustered and it's just funny to me.
I didn't get flustered.
You motherfucker. It's like that time I told you to stop interviewing the monster guy.
What was that?
You remember at the K-Rockathon?
Oh, yeah. Mid-interview, you're like, all right, that's enough. And I'm like, but okay.
Well, to be fair, you were going on to way more than I had ever planned.
Me?
Like, I just wanted to hear what was on the cans, and you're like, so, bro, tell me about your life story. And he's like, well, when I was a boy, I'm like, nobody cares.
It all started in 1982.
I didn't even feel like standing there to let him finish his sentence. That's how bored I was.
I know.
Ain't nobody going to watch that video.
I know.
Yeah. You got anything else? Or
Yeah,
you
real
got something
quick.
for me? Okay, cool.
This is pretty cool.
Uh-oh.
They're doing a, where is it here?
What is it?
Where is it?
It's here somewhere.
It's here somewhere. They're doing a movie in the park. I guess I didn't pull it up. Where the hell is it? They did. Oh, it's in the printer. I never went and got it from the printer. But basically, somewhere in Syracuse, because I don't have the story in front of me, they're showing Rookie of the Year at the Mets Stadium. That's what it is. So Syracuse Mets, we love them. We've been there. We shot an episode there.
Yeah.
They're going to be showing Rookie of the Year, which is one of my favorite baseball movies of all time as a kid. Coming up in the next few weeks, they're going to be showing a movie there, and that got me thinking, like...
Is that one of those deals where it's like after the game, so you come watch the game and then see the movie?
Yeah. That's pretty cool. And I was just like sitting there thinking, like, what would be your ideal play? Like, what movie would it be, and where would you want to watch it? Like, for example, like a bad one would be like watching Titanic on a cruise ship, or like standing in the middle of a fire and watching Backdraft, or flying somewhere and you're watching snakes on a plane. But like
that was the one I was gonna say.
Yeah, or maybe you go to Dallas and you're like, let's watch Debbie Does Dallas. I don't know.
have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like maybe you could watch Shawshank in that prison where they shot it, because that's actually, you can go there and they do tours. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you want to watch A League of Their Own at the Doubleday Field in Cooperstown where they shot it. I don't know. But I just like the idea of that you're going to watch a baseball movie at a baseball park.
Yeah, that's great.
Cool. We love the Syracuse Mets.
That's cool.
Yeah. What do you got? Let's finish it off with what I don't know. You said you had some.
So I'm, chronically online, and when you do that, you spend a little time on the old Reddit. Boy, that is a shithole, right?
You think?
Ooh. Anyway,
it's almost as bad as X.
There is one of the most popular subreddits is called Am I the Asshole? And if you're not familiar, this is a section where folks pose a story, a situation, and they ask the audience, ask the readers, are they the asshole in this story? And people either vote yes or no. Interestingly enough, as I was scrolling through these, the vast majority is not the asshole. So I feel like as snarky as people on the internet are, I feel like people might go out of their way to post these stories that make them look good, so they'll always come out. I don't know.
Sure.
But anyway, am I the asshole for taking walks on my lunch break? Starts out. A few years ago, I started a job that was more office-based than previous jobs. Because of that, I was moving less, gaining some weight, got very out of shape. I'm not overweight, but I'm carrying a little more fat than I used to, and I can tell my cardio ability has gone down. I get a 1-hour paid lunch every day. A lot of my coworkers eat at their desk, do a little work, maybe answering an email, but mostly eating. I personally go to my car and eat, and then I do laps around the parking garage before I go back in. Walk. She doesn't do laps in the car around the parking garage.
Okay.
Just to be clear. I'm never gone for more than the hour that I have for my lunch, and I'm back on time. Recently, I did my normal routine, grabbed my lunch, went to my car, ate it, started walk. Happened to run into a coworker during my walk. He was out there because he forgot something he needed from his car. He stopped me and asked what I was doing. I told him I ate my lunch, and now I'm going for a walk before lunch break is over. He didn't like that idea. He said that lunch break is for eating, not walking, and that when I'm done eating, I should go back to work. I told him that we're given an hour for lunch, so I want to use all of it in the best way I can. I think he told other people because I then began receiving comments before I go on break that I didn't receive before. I don't think I was wrong. I'm entitled to my break. All my work gets done on time, and I take about the same amount of time every day, so it's expected when I won't be available. I may come back for a few urgent emails, but I've never had an emergency when I was gone. Talked to my parents about it. They both said that they worked through their lunch, and I shouldn't be out walking, but also they're older and raised in a different time, so don't know if I should trust their judgment. So, am I the asshole for taking a walk on my lunch break?
Absolutely not, in my opinion.
You are correct. That is the correct answer.
It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Here's the problem we have. This is classic American
Oh, yeah.
boomer work mindset.
You're going where I'm going.
This is one of probably the biggest issue that I take with our American society. I believe this idea is uniquely American, and it's something that I try to talk about on a very regular basis. This idea that you are who you make money for.
Mm-hmm.
This, idea you meet somebody and, oh, hey, what do you do for a living?
It's the first thing we ask, because in a capitalistic society, we constantly have to do stratification. We've got to put things in categories. So when we meet someone, what do you do? Because we have to go, okay, they make this much money, or they get...
Yeah. And it's all, how much money do you make for somebody else? That's the wildest part about all of this. Mm-hmm. And you'll hear, you might have remembered people our parents' age and their generation talk about, what's the worst thing that you could say about somebody?
They don't have a job.
Yep. They're lazy. He don't work.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't worth a shit. Mm-hmm. Ironically, that extends to not even just having a job, but they also expect you to literally kill yourself at the job. As you can see in this story here, these people, how dare you might take your lunch break,
right,
and not continue.
You're judged
to be productive.
If you work more than 40 hours a week, whoa, you are a real man. You are a real citizen. That's that mentality. And it bothers me too with the trickle down economics is part of that, where it's if you work 40 to 60 hours a week someday and you save someday, you'll be rich. You don't end up rich because we don't pay living wages, first of all.
It's a fucking scam.
And trickle-down economics doesn't work. But it's that mindset where you got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and you got to work 40 hours, at least 40 hours a week, Monday through Friday. You can't have 3 days off. It is such an outdated mentality, and I am not for people not working. That is not what it's about. But there's a way. I studied this in college, and we talked about it on one of my clips where other countries, you have us work 4 days a week. We get three days off. You know what that does? That gives me an extra day with my family, which makes me happier, which makes my kids happier because their dad's around more. And you pay me a living wage so I can afford to have health care and pay my rent or my mortgage. It doesn't have to be 40 to 60 hours a week where you bust your ass. We can all work very hard and give people a work-life balance. It's not rocket science.
That's it. And like I said, it's just this whole mindset. And I really want to break that because it's insane. I'll go so far as to say, now here's the thing. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman. I'm an employer. I employ people and I pay them good wages, and there's a lot of things that I need them to do. At the same time, if you tell me that there's some guy down the street who's lazy and he's just getting food stamps and he's not working, I have zero fucking problem with that person whatsoever. I don't care how hard you work. I don't. I don't care you got to work this hard in order to earn welfare. I don't care. If you're a human being, you deserve basics, which to me include food, healthcare, and shelter.
Healthcare is not a luxury. It's a fucking human right.
Yeah.
The fact that it's 2025 and we're too worried about the name of the Gulf of America or Gulf of Mexico instead of giving people affordable or free healthcare is fucking mind-blowing to me.
It is.
And that's as close as politics as we'll get on this show. I know we're not about that, but,
No, that's it. And like I said, I just anytime I see these this work mindset, I really like to say something about it.
Me too.
Because, the reality is it's so baked into our culture that most people don't even realize that it is an idea that is not natural. You know what I mean? It's one of these things that is implanted. And what I would love folks to do, even if you disagree with me, you're like, oh, people need to work their ass off in order to earn a fucking cookie. Okay. All I would ask of you, though, is just to ponder for a second who that thought most benefits and who might have planted that seed. When you look at somebody and you judge him by how hard he works and how much money he makes for me, I'm the business owner. Somebody looks at you and goes, what do you do for a living, Mike? And you go, oh, I'm a podcast producer. Oh, okay. Well, you're in a salary for that. That's respectable, right? It's nonsense. It's nonsense.
I couldn't agree more.
It's all about what benefits me.
Right.
As the business owner.
It's the business owner, the corporations that are telling you that you have to work so hard so that you can benefit them. You're never going to make more than them, and they're also the one that benefit from this idea of you putting down your coworker. Yep.
Right? So what if hey, that Danny's a lazy fuck.
Sure is.
And you know what? We could all make more. You could make more money if your coworker wasn't so lazy.
Smells like
so why don't you
diarrhea.
We're getting a little crazy here.
Okay. Sorry.
But you know what I mean? Like, that's that whole thing. It's not even a matter of putting down you specifically, but it's getting you to ride the other guy to make him work harder for me.
Yep. And like I said on that clip before, and we've talked about it, and you live it, which is incredible to me, is that there are employers in other countries where we're talking industries like factory industry, manufacturing, where, if you're not open 5 days a week, you're not manufacturing on that fifth day. But here's the thing. These people get they work 4 days a week. They get like 4 weeks vacation. They have 3 days off. What people don't understand is that serves the employer too, because these people are more rested.
Yes.
They're healthy because they have health insurance. They will stay and be more loyal because they have it so good. But we've been trained to think the opposite, and it's mind-blowing to me that we can't adopt this new mentality of we can still work our asses off, but it doesn't have to be 5 days a week. It doesn't have to be 40-plus hours. It can still be done by allowing you to spend time with your families. Look at how many fucked up people there are because they had terrible childhoods, because their parents were busting their ass poor or working too hard and weren't around. I mean,
Dude, you hit the nail on the head. So this is the last thing I'll say about this. This whole idea, again, I'm a business owner. I benefit from you working hard for me. But also, I benefit from you not getting burned out. Mm-hmm. And that's the part that's crazy. You can go, all right, yeah, Matt, you don't care about, you think, from a moral standpoint, you just want everything to be nice and everybody to be great. No, guys, you don't understand. This is a selfish standpoint. What I'm advocating is the best for my business.
Yep.
If we have a society where, keep in mind, people seem to forget this, we live in a consumer-driven economy. You know what that means?
Yeah.
That means consumers, who are consumers, workers, are the ones fueling everything. I might have the coolest T-shirt, I might have the hottest product on the market, but if nobody can fucking buy it, it's worthless.
Exactly.
But when those people have more money and have more time to go ahead and buy those things, that's what boosts my business. Give workers money, treat them well. They will last longer you're in business. They will be more loyal. And you'll have a better business. That's the wildest part about all this shit. If you treat people well, it will come back to you in a positive way.
I'll take it a step farther, where it's it's about thinking outside of the box and thinking of things from the reverse side. Like, for example, clearly we have a ton of problems at the border. We have for as long as the border has been there, right? And everyone thinks we got to shut the border. We've got to leave it open for certain people, and we go back and forth. How about we take it a step further and think outside of the box in that same way? How about we send troops or whoever it may be to the places where everybody is fleeing from and help them peacefully solve the issues there so that people aren't fleeing from there and illegally crossing. In other words, go to the problem and see if you can resolve the problem there. If everyone's running from somewhere, there must be something going on. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So instead of shutting off the border or partially opening it or dealing with all this bullshit, why don't we start going to some of these places and seeing if we can make a difference? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm a libtard. I don't know.
I love it. I love it because he's dead on.
I am dead on.
Here's the thing. Again, this isn't a political show, but the reality is the majority of these refugees came from countries where our policies shifted and made their countries not so great.
And you can't treat everybody like they are the cartel. You cannot blanket statement the whole like, well, people that come here, they all steal our jobs and they all commit crime. And it's like, what about the families that are just trying to come here for opportunity? And maybe they're doing it the wrong way. But we make it out to be like they're all these villainous people. These are human beings. And some of them are villainous and they should be treated like they're villainous. But you can't treat the people next to them who are not doing the same thing in the same way. It's discretion. That's what we need, discretion.
The last thing I'll say on this is this is the reason there's foreign aid.
Yeah.
A lot of people get bent out of shape. Well, we're sending all that money over to wherever. And don't get me wrong, there's lots of times where it is a waste, but there's lots of other times where we're doing it to keep their shit there. So they don't come here. So they don't bring us their problems.
Dude, and to bring it full circle, I'm glad you said that. It's that same mentality of what we talk about.
International aid is a part of defense.
It's the same thing we were talking about with the job, which was what? Well, if I give them 4 weeks vacation and I only make them work 4 days a week, they're more loyal. Things are better for everybody.
Yes.
Same thing. If we send foreign aid so they can keep their shit together, it helps everybody. But see, a lot of the mindset in politics is I don't care unless it directly affects me.
Right.
I don't know what empathy is. Okay. I don't know. What is this? Bad news? Are we?
I don't know.
I don't know. Fired up news?
We're going on a...
Look, Danny doesn't show up because he's sick, and look what happens.
He's normally the one that like just cuts us off.
Yeah, it's because he's lazy.
Like, guys, shut up.
He doesn't fucking work. He's
Yeah.
lazy. He's not here.
Fucking guy taking a paid sick day.
Fucking piece of shit.
How dare he?
I bet she's on a walk.
Yeah.
I love you, man.
Oh, man. This has been Good News York, guys. Lots of other adventures, I'm sure, will find us this week. Stay tuned. We got so much more fun stuff going on.
And before we go, it is Good News York brought to you by Ads on the Go. GetAdsOnTheGo.com. Our buddy Zach, we love you, man, and thanks for all you do.
And also keep an eye out for our man, Zach, driving around in the Ads on the Go truck because we just updated our ads.
Nice. Have you seen it? Have you been driving around and seen it yet? Because I have not.
I have, but I haven't seen our latest because we literally just sent them over. But,
okay. Well, that makes sense.
You should see some ads for all the different things we do here at Growth Mode Tech.
I love it.
On the side of that awesome video truck.
Absolutely. All right.
I think we're done.
I think we're done. Good News York, Monday edition. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Peace out.